welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 3 Week 7 Day 7 stream. So of course we're doing this stream a little bit earlier, 8 hours earlier to be precise, just because the Super Bowl is tonight. So I still wanted to get the stream out, so we're just doing it way earlier. Of course, we just dropped the video for the very ridiculously, absurdly nice quick kill team with the, that's absolutely insane how good Dust Devil is again. It is amazing, but I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it from the previous stream or that video, but it is very good. It is so ridiculously good, but yeah, it does that. I'd love to see what next World event's going to be like. Oh, we got a good pet right now. Ooh, I think I don't have that max, right? Ooh, I still need 13 copies. Okay, sidetracked. Let me go get that real quick. But this stream, we're mostly going to be going over all of the weekly spoilers. And going over, and the rest of the time we'll probably just be grinding with the quick kill team, because why not? It's a lot of fun to use. But that's pretty much the game plan. Let me just take this pet real quick, though, and then we'll start going over the weekly spoilers. Do keep in mind some of the weekly spoilers aren't up yet since they don't come out until later in the day. Like, for example, we won't know exactly what you need to do for the World Lore event. However, we can assume it's going to be very annoying, so... Generally speaking, it's just rarity order, but it's probably going to be slightly more annoying than that, but we won't know until later today. So unfortunately, that aspect we can't go over. We'll go over all the troops. We're getting the new Ox pet on Wednesday for Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year falls on the 14th, 12th, somewhere around there. I forget the exact date, but it's around there somewheres. It's around there. Well, of course, we're getting the pet on Wednesday. Oh, we'll go for that. Bit of explosion. I'll wait till people start rolling in. It's a very weird time for us to stream, that's for sure. We never stream at this time on Sundays. Well, that's we're streaming some other game. Let's see, we'll throw that down for now. I wonder if the alert even went off. YouTube's probably not even used to us streaming at this time so much that it's like, we're not going to send out the alert. It sometimes takes like 30 minutes for it to send out the alert sometimes. This is really annoying. Ooh, it didn't one-shot. So obviously, generally the 6th, 7th, and 8th battle, Phoenicia stops one-shotting on. If you had her max, she probably would more consistently kill out the 6th, though. Yeah, when people show up at like 8 tonight, it's like, wait, where's the stream? I mentioned it a couple times this week. That we'd be streaming earlier today. Everyone's probably prepping for that Super Bowl. Like, half our channel's from the United States, and it's like the most watched show of the entire year. People that don't even like football watch it. Cough, cough, myself. Yeah, I'm in it for the food and the commercials. And the halftime show. Actually, I have no clue who's even playing for the halftime show. That's normally decent. What do I go for here? Why is all the options bad? Also, why am I using Bronze-Black Pistol? I still have a Bronze-Black Pistol team set up. It's better to run Withering Staff. But Bronze-Black Pistol's not horrible. If nothing else, if you don't have Staff, you could run Pistol. But I do feel like the Staff's a bit better. Ah, there we go. Okay. See how many copies we get. Got sidetracked, but it was totally worth it for 3 copies of that pet. Still need 10, though. Anyways, let's go over the spoilers now. Sorry about that. You can't pass up on a pet that's on a short timer that you need. Okay. So, there's actually no point in going to gemsofwar.com because their post isn't up yet because they don't do that till like 7 p.m. my time. And that is like 7 hours from now. So let's go to typing with Tacit and figure out how to not mistype a billion times. Okay, so weekly spoiler stuff. So, obviously, we got a faction event going on this Tuesday. We're going to be having, or sorry, the World event, I mean. Though we do still have a faction going on, so if you didn't finish that, you have the rest of today. So next week, we still have Ironhawk available from Monday till the end of Thursday. That's pretty relevant because Ironhawk is so ridiculously meta. So don't forget he'll still be available for the rest of today, tomorrow, and the other 3 days, all the way until the Friday reset, all the way at the end of Thursday. So you still have plenty of time on that. This Tuesday, we have the faction event for Depths of Sin. Wednesday, we're going to be having the Battle Crusher coming in for Imp of Love for Valentine's Day. It will likely be bringing in gold, though we don't know for sure exactly what resource. But basically, you'll be able to go and get a bunch of kills. Hey, that's something else that this team is good for, the Dust Devil Quick Kill team with all the Iron Hawks. You'd be able to farm up that pretty quickly, because assuming it shows up in Explore, you're going to be getting a lot of loot from that, to say the least. Imagine if that is gold. You'd be like doubling your gold any battle where you get an Imp of Love, and it appears like once every like 5 battles. It's pretty often. So you'd be getting a lot of it. Like I mentioned, we're getting a Lucky Ox for the Year of the Ox for 2021 this year. That will be this Wednesday. It's cosmetic, of course, but another pet nonetheless. This Thursday, we're going to be having a class event for Warlord. Warlord's pretty underwhelming. It's a Broken Spire event, so it has everything related to that. Also, that reminds me, I need to go show the troops. But one pretty noteworthy thing about it being Broken Spire event, though, is 2 really good weapons will be available. One is Doomed Club, which is a brown Doom weapon, and the other is Flamer. So if you've been meaning to pick up Flamer in order to make like that Zugoff team or like a Yagoi Queen of Tanya team, it will be available all of next week. Do keep in mind, it does use the same brown-yellow as the Norbert's Turnip this week. So if you don't have a really high amount of brown-yellow, you might need to choose between Norbert's Turnip this week or Flamer for next week. But if you don't have the resources for it, you can still try grinding it out next week. The more pets you get, as long as you do brown and yellow ones, you will be able to get additional jewels off of those. You can also craft any shards that you have into yellow or brown. While they are better to use into diamonds, if you're very short on and you want to get Flamer before the end of the next week, it might be worth doing it. You can also throw it to 50 gems to go get the extra thingy if you need to get a little bit more. But anyways, yeah, Flamer available next week. Really strong weapon. And Doom Club will be as well if you have a lot of browns. Though if you had to choose one or the other, I'd probably say Flamer, though it is nice to have the Doom weapons that do full AoE into Doom Skull Convert. Anyways, aside from that, as far as Friday, we're going to be having Bounty Hunter. It will be bringing in another Broken Spire, which if I'm not mistaken does bring Broken Spire to 20 star. No, actually, wow, it is very low star. Never mind, it's only going to be reaching 16 stars. Scratch that. Does it not have a faction associated to it? That might be why. Once it gets a faction, it'll go shoot up to 20. But yeah, it doesn't have a faction yet. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because it'll be like right dead center in the faction thingy. It'll probably be one of the really last factions they'll add, based on how it's laid out. It kind of looks like it will be like literally the last faction, or at least the last faction prior to them adding more kingdoms to the game, which they said they'll be doing sometime, maybe this year. We'll find out. But anyways, so yeah, we just got a bounty event this weekend, so pretty straightforward there. And this Saturday, we are going to get the pet rescue for the Hoglet, which I believe was the 2020 Lunar New Year? No, 2019. Because that was the year of the pig. Last year was the year of the rat, and this year is the year of the ox. But yeah, the 2019 Lunar New Year, if you didn't end up getting that 2 years ago, you'll have a chance to go get that this Saturday. That does count as a green pet, and it does mean you won't be able to get brown or yellow jewels during that duration, unfortunately. But the rest of the days you'll be able to. So that means this Wednesday you won't be able to, and oh wait, actually, what color is the ox? Okay, the ox looks like it counts as yellow, so you'll be able to get some yellow on that day, if nothing else. Yeah, it does count as yellow. It says it right there. So you'll be able to get yellow then. But keep in mind, all day on Wednesday and all day on Saturday, you won't be able to farm pets. So if you're looking to get those last little bit of jewels, if you're a little bit short for any of the good weapons coming out in Soulforge next week, do be mindful that Wednesday and Saturday, you cannot properly farm for them because it has a 24-hour pet in which the duration will be that pet for the entire time. So do be mindful of that if you're looking to get those last little bit of jewels for good weapons next week. Also, there's one other really important thing I need to go over. That is the troops. Since we can't do it through the Gems of War website, we can still do it here. So there are technically 3 troops that are coming out since this thing will technically be available. Let me just go move them all right over here so we can get the nice big images for them. Let's see. There's the one. Oh, did they change the art for the sun? That looks different than what it was before. Let's see. And the 2 Broken Spire troops. So let me go get these guys in. And then we'll go over these. And then the rest of the time, we'll mostly just mess around with a bit of grinding. Also, we do have a Imperial Deed off of Adventure Board today. Definitely don't forget to grab that. And we'll be getting that soon. Okay, so let's go over all the things. So, first things first, the sun. If you bought the bigger pass, the sun will be available, and we actually have the bigger pass, so I'll probably go over the sun on Tuesday. Probably on Tuesday. We'll do a video on it. But the sun, if you just bought the normal pass, will be available next week's Monday, not tomorrow Monday. But if you bought the bigger pass, it will be available tomorrow. As far as what it does, it gives, it's kind of like Divinia, except different. It's 6 mana costs. It gives magic divided by 2 plus 3 life to all allies. And then there's a 7% chance to gain an extra turn for each yellow gem, which means if you have 15 yellow gems on the board, it'll guarantee you get an extra turn. Obviously, that is very rare that will end up being the case. However, if it is set up like that, you could basically go and get an extra turn take like a 4 times, 5 times yellow off the board, get full mana again, hopefully get another extra turn, kind of repeat it like a few times and kind of go from there. Overall, I do personally feel like Divinia does its role a bit better. However, it being a 6 mana cost is kind of interesting. It's obviously a very low mana cost for a half decent ability. Like, this ability is not bad given that 6 mana cost. As far as its other pretty good aspect, its final trait, it grants a random status effect to a random ally whenever an ally casts a spell. This is kind of like Divinia, except Divinia does it based on extra turn, whereas this does it based on when you cast. So a little bit of a different condition. However, they both do the same thing, giving a positive status effect to an ally. Theoretically, you could even use both of them together. Ideally, obviously, you'd use this more so for something that needs life boost ratio. Both Taurus is a yellow that has boost ratio as well for that. So any kind of other really big yellow Tauruses, or, you know, there's Bull Taurus is the one, but any of those like under that needs that typing that end up getting like a nice boost ratio for that into the future that use yellow could potentially have good synergy with this, because you could just mana accumulate a bunch of yellow, increase the chance of this thing getting extra turn. That'll feed yellow into this as well as to whatever your damage option is that has HP boost ratio, and then you kind of go from there. There's already an option that exists for it, however, it's kind of average, the Bull Taurus, but maybe we'll get some really strong ones into the future that might make this super meta. In the current state of the game, I personally don't feel like you'll really use this as an offensive troop. However, this is very likely to be used to craft a Doom rarity troop by the end of this season. So that'd be pretty cool. Again, of course, the first one was Enraged Karandera, which was a little bit underwhelming because normal Karandera was actually better. Well, we'll see what this season ends up bringing. Anyways, next up is Volcanic Golem. This is what will be available in the Glory shop next week, so you'll be able to get this for Glory. It's a 12 mana cost brown-red. It explodes gems and then burns a random enemy for every red gem destroyed, meaning you can get a 4 times burn off its ability. It then gains magic plus 1 life and armor. So basically, it's a tanking troop that can burn the entire enemy team, essentially. Other than that, it does have Fire Link, so that helps feed itself up, and it has Stone Skin. So overall, kind of average, pretty good for Arena. Might be okay in early game. Aside from that, not really going to be that useful. It's a good burner if you don't have like a burning option, but there's a lot of better burners later in the game. Obviously, this is really geared towards more so early game players, maybe mid game players. So overall, it's just something you're going to get to max and pretty much nothing else if you're later in the game. And that's basically it. That's a troop coming in. This troop is going to be coming out on Friday. This is the Bounty Hunter troop. Also, it kind of looks like, with the face paint that it has, it kind of looks like that one troop or that one enemy from Puzzle Quest 1, except as a female. But it's Ogress. It's a rare giant. But anyways, as far as what it does, it's a brown-yellow. It pulls myself to the front and stuns the first enemy, then explodes 1 random gem. And boosted by my life at a... What on earth is that ratio? I assume that's 1 to 10? I assume that's a 1 to 10. It's written a bit weird. I assume 0 to 1 means 1 to 10. Just in a weird way. But yeah, that should be 1 to 10. I'm not sure why it's written as 0 to 1 or 0.1. But for every 10 life it has, it should do 1 additional explosion. Which means later in the game, if you're running with 24 extra life on it, and you have like a base life of like, what, 60, 70? Let's say 60. So like 80. So that's 9 explosions? Is that really 9 explosions? That's not too bad. Like a mass exploder. It moves itself to the front. For like a 9 explode. What does that have for tankiness, though? It has Stone Skin. Ooh, you know what? This actually isn't that bad. Stone Skin and like a 8-9 explosion? Also, it has a 100% summon too. I've got a door. Summon a fortress gate when I die. It's going to be really annoying for exploring there. However, that's really good for Bounty Hunter. This is actually a really solid mana accumulator then. Assuming that's 1 to 10. That's like 8 explosions, 9 explosions, so it depends on your life. Though you might not use a bunch of life, so it might actually be a little bit less. Because you might use 12 magic instead of 24 life. Because you still want Takaraki to do more damage. And it does block on brown. So maybe it might not be as good as it might seem. But it definitely has potential. It's not bad for a bounty troop for sure. Outside of bounty, it's probably never going to be used. But inside of bounty, it has potential. Anyways, that's everything coming in next week. So, let's go get these juicy dailies down. We got ourselves Imperial, as well as 6 yellow. Though, of course, the Imperial is a lot more interesting. Hold up. How much durability do these have? I highly doubt it. Just for fun, though. That's funny. Okay, it's still 1-shot range. Wait, can you actually kill all of common rarity dailies with this? I think you can. Well, you'd probably want to use your hero class to get free XP for if you still need XP. Because these are 2 XP each, unlike 1 XP battles. Perfectly balanced. It does. It one-shots probably almost every common battle in the game for daily adventure board. That is pretty funny. Right when you thought Rowan was quick. I'm pretty sure it's gonna not one-shot. Like, that thing it wouldn't one-shot if that's in this battle right now. Oh, it is. I should have taken Skull. Why did I not take Skull? I have no clue why I didn't take Skull there. Also, I have my Dust Devil in a weird position. Normally, you'd want to have it in first slot. I have it there because I prefer it there. It's just easier for me to click. Yep, it's still one-shottable. That middle one wasn't, oddly enough, because the gate had 0 attack, so it has really high durability. This battle does. Another gnome. Okay, now we need to go switch to a real team. Wait, can it kill this first battle? It can. Yes, it can. Let's go for it. The rest of these battles will have to use a real team, though. Unfortunately. It can't do everything. Alright, let's switch to a real team. Where's my spider? Let's use spider. Spider's fun. Also, I didn't even say hello to everyone yet. Hello, everyone! Hello, Isabel! Hello, Paul! Hello, HD Addict! Hello, Captain! Hello, Michael! Hello, Audrex! Hello, everyone else! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Up until a couple weeks ago, they were adding one of the new weapons to the Forge, but they stopped 6 short. Any idea why? They didn't exactly stop. They only do it when there's a new kingdom. Like, it's associated to the kingdom. And the reason why they haven't appeared is new kingdoms haven't appeared that haven't already happened. Like, for example, this week we're also going to be getting, or, you know, this next week, we're going to be getting the Broken Spire weapon, which is one that has already existed as well. So it's going to be another week where we don't end up getting one. But no, they're still rotating around. They just need to rotate through every single kingdom. And 6 kingdoms haven't happened yet, which is why we haven't gotten those 6 weapons yet. But no, they're still coming. They just haven't rotated yet for a very long time, which is why they haven't appeared yet. But they will. Give it a couple months. They will be around. It just seemed like it was happening every single week because there's so many that didn't happen yet. So pretty much every kingdom that was happening was a new one. But it's just because the older kingdoms haven't rotated yet. This is why the last several haven't happened yet. Oh yeah, this is live. We don't normally stream this time. We normally don't stream Dreams of War this time on Sundays, like ever. But Super Bowl's tonight, so we're streaming now instead of tonight. This is our nightly stream in the morning, or afternoon, I guess. And of course, we just posted the video on the new Mythic again. The very fun Dust Devil teams. We'll be messing with that this stream as well. Obviously. Gotta get those loots in before they nerf it. I really hope they don't nerf it. They better not. So many people use so much resources for it. Oh, I got another pet. I don't need that, though. Ah, there's our Imperial. And since we're already doing dailies, let's go clear out dungeons. It is Diamond Day, so definitely want to make sure to get down dungeons. You always want to throw 50 gems at Diamond Day as well, because it ends up giving you 80 diamonds among several other resources, like a Guarantee Celestial, which is a really great source of weekly Celestial if you still need them earlier on in the game. But, yeah, it's always worth it. Even if you just started out, it is such a good offer that this offer right here for 50 gems, 100% of the time always worth it. Because you get like half the value back pretty much just from the gem keys. The 80 diamonds alone is worth more than 50 gems. And you get a Guarantee Celestial, which earlier on in the game and even into mid-game is pretty useful because you can be a little bit tight on Celestials. And getting a free Celestial is pretty nice. I was like, hello, Sick, welcome. As well as Goddard, welcome, welcome. And Audrox, if I didn't already say hi, welcome. I'll throw that down. Get our one-shots. And clear out this last one. Definitely don't want to pass up on our diamonds. Hey, there we go. And we already got the thing, but just out of habit, let me go double check. Yeah, we already got it. Because we were showing it for the thing. Okay, there we go. So have we finished every weekly at this point? I believe we have. We finished out the World Lore event. We finished out the last night. We ended up doing the Pure faction, which went so absurdly quick. We theoretically could do a little bit more battles, but I'm fine. We have enough shards and everything. It's not like we'll get leaderboard out of it. Leaderboard is pretty heavily contested on these weeks. We might go for it eventually, just because we're already throwing so much down, but some people go really crazy with it, as you can see. So, yeah, no. Maybe sometime. Not this time for sure. But anyways, so yeah, we finished out everything we need to. So you know what that means. It's time to go grind for the rest of the stream. And what better team than to use the new Ironhawk. I still can't believe this is a thing again. This was a thing 5 years ago. And I still find it really funny. Because when I started doing this channel, April 5 years ago, the very, very, very first video that we ever started doing on a weekly basis, which is why I basically consider started the channel, was the exact week Dust Devil got nerfed. And I was going to cover a video on Dust Devil, and it was basically going to be like one of our first like videos that kind of started our channel. But instead it was just kind of the normal weekly event video, which has become a thing every single Monday, which of course we'll be covering tomorrow as well, as we always do. But that was basically like the start of it. And it was literally when Dust Devil got nerfed. And now 5 years later, it's a thing again. Well, technically like 4 years, 10 months, but 5 years. It's basically 5 years. Close enough. Good morning, John. Welcome. It took 5 years, but they finally brought Dust Devil back. It's great to see. Also, it's even quicker than it was before, because 4 times speed didn't used to exist back then. Also, the delay when you were like hovering over something was still a thing back then as well, which they only fixed like several months ago. That's a pretty recent fix. They fixed that like 4 or 5 patches ago. It was only applicable on PC and mobile, but and Switch version, but they have fixed it since then. Which makes this the quickest it's ever been, which is nice to see. It makes it feel like some of the deaths happened before you actually cast it, because they happen so quickly. They actually do. It's not looking like it does. It actually is. The reason why it is Ironhawk. I mentioned this during the Ironhawk Mythic video, but one interesting aspect about Ironhawk is he actually does his damage prior to the cast. So we're actually doing 15 damage before Dust Devil does his 5 damage to all enemies. This is applicable to anything you cast. It's particularly applicable if you're doing like a Skull Convert or if you're doing a targetable ability, because all the Ironhawks trigger their damage prior to you doing your ability. So if you're doing like a Skull Spam and the first slot has 5 HP, you would kill it, and then you would be able to do your Skull Spam to the next troop. There's a few instances where that's applicable. Obviously, for what we're doing right now, that has no direct real benefit, other than it looks funny because they die before Dust Devil does damage to some of them. But it does have some applicability in some teams. This is not one of them that actually does anything special, though. But there are some interactions where that's useful. It's very rare that you would actually get value from that, though. But it's something to keep in mind whenever you're doing like Guild Wars or just any battle, that the 5 damage from its ability does trigger prior to your ability cast. Very rarely applicable, but occasionally is. 5-second win? Yes, it's true. We're doing it right now. We are literally doing it right now. Theoretically, it's closer to about an 8-second cycle. Though theoretically, you could also consider it like a 1-second or 2-second win. Because if you count the actual time you're in battle, it's like less than a second. It's like as soon as you click this, it's done. So you could consider that like 2 seconds. But if you count the full cycle of the battle, I think it's closer to like 7-8 seconds. It really just depends on how you time it. So I just made the video 5-second because that's just the in-between value of the two. It's very quick. It's not going to get any quicker than this. This is literally physically the quickest it could ever be. It is quite literally impossible to ever get a team quicker than this. There could be things that do exactly the same as this, but you can never actually physically get quicker than this. It is not possible. Unless there's a troop that literally does damage at start of battle. That would be the only way you can go quicker. Is if there was like a mythic that came into the game that did like 5 damage to all enemies when the battle starts and you use 4 of them or something. That's the only way this could get quicker. Although I highly doubt they would ever add that to the game. That is quite literally the only way this would go quicker. Because that would be a 0 cast win. The first ever 0 cast win in the game. I highly doubt they would add that though. You would literally win battles just by entering battles. Which would be very funny, but also even more broken than this. If that's even imaginable. Speed running the game, I know, right? Hey, gotta get that resource efficiency. Oh, so we're about to gain a level. We gained a level yesterday. We're gonna gain a level like every day if we just farm with this a little bit. If we farm for this an hour a day, we'd literally gain a level every day at this point. It is so much EXP. What is the team? There's multiple different teams that you could use for it. We just covered a video on it that just went up. But the cheapest team that you could build out of it uses only one. It's specifically this right over here. If you want to copy-paste any of them, they're all in the video. It's Sister Superior or Double Greed, followed by Greed, Dust Devil, and Ironhawk. It only requires one and gets it done. You could also do a variant that uses Hero, where you go double Dust Devil into any weapon, though for Actor, you can sometimes give you free souls into Ironhawk. And both of those only require one Ironhawk to work. Though the quickest does use 3. Though, of course, it costs a lot of resources to get 3. So if you can only get 1, it's still very much usable. It's slightly slower, but you get other resources from it, either Classic XP or Gold. So even though it's slightly slower, you're getting some other benefit from doing so. So it's perfectly fine to only have 1 Ironhawk. But 3 is also pretty fun. Because the 3 method's the only method that does it in 1 cast. I feel like they might not nerf it for the sole reason that having 3 Ironhawks is rather hard. Like, there's not that many people that could afford 3 Ironhawks. There's definitely some fraction of people in the game that can. Like, 10% maybe? But, most people can't, so having something this strong this way is probably fine. And it's accessible to people that only have 1 for the slightly slower method, so they probably, hopefully, won't nerf it. Because it would encourage people to get this mythic. Also, this mythic's like S tier, by the way. It was like A tier before this. Now it's like upper S tier. It might even literally be best troop in game level S tier. I still feel like Iron Gut might be the better way to go, though. Like, if you had to choose between one of this or 1 Iron Gut, that's kind of a hard choice. A lot harder than it was this Friday. Not knowing this at the time. Like, that's actually a hard choice now. Like, do you go Ironhawk if this doesn't get nerfed, or do you go Iron Gut? Basically, the 2 Irons are the strongest 2 mythics in the game now as far as priority. Also, one fun thing about this too, it doesn't matter what your stats are. It does require everything to be fully traded, but your actual stats don't matter. You could literally have just started the game, and as long as you could have everything fully traded, it would work. And you only need 1 Ironhawk for it. Obviously, getting that Ironhawk fully traded would be a little hard early in the game, but with orange orbs, it's a bit easier. Because none of our stats matter. He'll do 5 damage every time, and all of our damage is based on his final trait. So the stats up for your attack, HP, magic, armor, all that doesn't matter at all. It could be 90% lower than it is right now, and it would have no effect on the battle at all. You killed all your keys for it. Yeah, that's going to be really controversial if they nerf this. Because a lot of people probably invested a lot of keys into this. It's not easy to get 3 copies of this thing. Realistically, you're using like upwards of 3,000 gem keys, or equivalency of so. Which is like 30,000 glory keys, or about a little bit under 3,000 seal keys. But if anyone has any other questions, anything you want me to go over, let me know. This is our nightly stream, so we're not doing a stream tonight. So anything you wanted to ask, let me know. Because this is going to be our last piece of content until Monday event video. Hello, Imperial. Welcome. Because as soon as the stream ends, I'm ordering some pizza for Super Bowl. Gosh, I haven't had pizza for a year. Like, as far as actually ordering it. I'm not sure you would count that as fast food. I personally don't. But, yeah, I haven't ordered pizza since I've had fast food either. So, yeah, it's been like a year since I've had pizza. Like, actual ordered pizza. I still had, like, pre-made pizzas. But, and making my own. As far as, like, actually ordering one. This would be the first time in a year I actually bothered getting one. Yes, that's basically what's happening right now. Is we're dealing 5 damage per Ironhawk, and then which is 3 of them, so 15, and then Dust Devil does 5, so 20 damage. And one funny thing is nothing in Wild Plains level 1 has above 20 HP, except for the Mythic, one of the Mythics. Catches the Bull is the only thing. And there's also some gnomes I think that can survive it. But as far as things within this kingdom, literally the only one is Ketris, and it appears so rarely because you're doing Explore 1, so you very rarely get shards at a very, very slow pace. Pizza is just a fancy sandwich. Took you around 40,000 for the 3. That's still not too bad. It took us about 2,200 gem keys and I think a little over 10,000 glory keys. The first 2 were really quick. We got the first 2 within 650 gem keys. Oh no, sorry. It was 1,300 gem keys and about 10,000 glory keys is what it came out to for me. The first 2 we got in 650 gem keys, but the last one took us way above drop rate, unfortunately. Last one we got really unlucky on, but the first 2 were really lucky. But it balanced out to still be positive luck. Like, we were still below drop rate if you count all 3 combined. So we still got lucky, technically. Just a bit unlucky on the final one. But it's still worth it, because it allows us to do this. Having a traditional Sunday roast dinner. Nice. Ooh. That sounds really, really good. But I'm lazy. I'm just getting pizza. Nice, simple. It feels like a treat just because I haven't had it for so long. Probably ordering it from Domino's because it's the closest. Pretty sure they're running some kind of deal for the thing too. I sure hope they would be. You gotta run a deal for Super Bowl. You're making waffles. It's still 9 a.m. Yeah, that's what was my breakfast. I just had English muffin with cream cheese and jelly. Really basic breakfast. I figured it'd hold me down till pizza. By the time they make it and everything, it'll probably be like an hour, hour and a half from now. I can wait that long. Hopefully the pizza survives until the Super Bowl. It might not. It doesn't start till like what, 6:30 is kickoff or something? It might not survive till then. Oh yeah, this is the one thing this team doesn't kill, by the way. Literally the only thing. Not counting some of the gnomes. The easiest way to do this would be to have Dust Devil in first slot. I personally prefer it not being in first slot just because of how I like to click. It's actually easier for me to do it if Dust Devil's in third rather than first. But it does make it slightly slower when we get a battle like that. Though it's so really rare because it's super rare that we'd hit 100 shards. Because we're only getting 3 to 6 shards per battle. So to hit 100 takes a while. So that's not too big a deal. Then order 2 pizzas. Well, technically we are ordering 1 pizza. 1 for me, 1 for my mom. We're getting most likely 2 pizzas, 2 of those breadstick things, and maybe something else. I'm not sure what else we'll order. Maybe some wings or something. But I'm not big on wings. Not sure what else they have though. I think they have some kind of chicken popper thingy. I'll have to check the app. Oh, hello, Elite Gaming. Welcome. Did you find a hero weapon that will enable 1 cast clear? For what? There's a lot of hero weapons that can 1 cast Explore 1. It's not as quick as this Dust Devil team, but there are plenty of hero weapons that 1 shot. War and Peace, Fire and Ice, Dawnbringer, Duskbringer. There's probably like 10 others. All 6 of the Doom weapons that do full AoE damage. A couple others I'm forgetting to mention. Oh, Sun and Moon. And probably a few others. But there's a lot of them. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward, though. Click Dust Devil, win. Well, if you mean with this team, you could just use Phylactery on that team, because you can get free souls occasionally if there's 5 times blue or purple. If you're referring to this team, you most likely want to use Phylactery, because it's free souls if there's a 5 times blue or purple. If that's what you're asking. Like, you wouldn't want to use a damaging weapon, because the Dust Devils are already enough damage. So we're about to already gain a hero level. That is so quick. We've never had XP rates like this before. We might hit level 2000 in the next 2 years. That's still forever. But it was realistically going to take like 4 years before with how much I play. But if this team stays exactly as is... Oh, 4 gem keys, nice. It feels like a Vault event. Gosh, there's so many gnomes. Because we're cycling through them so quick. Next Vault event's 2 weekends from now, by the way. Not next week, but the following week. Next week is Bounty Hunter. But the following weekend is Vault. Also, I really hope Century Age of Ashes is their beta next weekend. Because if they don't, that means they're doing beta on the weekend that we have Vault event, which is going to be very annoying. Because I don't know which one I want to play. Do we grind Vault event at the speed of light? Or do we try that new game? It'll be a hard choice. Luckily, it's not the full release. If nothing else. Or likely full releasing 3 weekends from now. The last weekend of this month, whatever that is. Yep, there's our level. Purple. Because we always go purple. Because purple. Currently farming for Anu and Nisha tokens. Taking forever on Explore 12. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish they would add another method. I really want to see this year they add another method to farm tokens, particularly the higher rarity tokens. Who knows? Maybe the next thing after Underworld is an area that can farm Anus and Nishas as easy as you can farm legendary and mythic ingots from Underworld. That'd be insane. I highly doubt they will do that, though. But who knows? Maybe they will. It might not be as good as that rate, but maybe it'll be a little bit of an increased rate. We'll see. But they really need another method other than Explore 12 to realistically grind Anus and Nishas, because it is so slow in the current state of the game. Also, I still need 2 or 3 Nishas still until we can go upgrade a another mythic, or a mythic, another one. We haven't even done a single one yet. I'm still leaning towards Venetia as far as our upgrade. I'm not sure if we'll change that to something else, but as it currently stands, Venetia is going to be the troop that we will upgrade with our very first Nishas at our 100% rate to go get an upgrade for one. That's why I'm taking it 4 times. There's literally no point in taking it 4 times. It's such a habit to always take like whatever the extra turns are on the board, especially when doing an ability that would normally end your turn. Because generally when you cast Dust Devil, it'll end your turn. But if you already won the battle, that doesn't matter at all. Are we in a guild? Yes. I actually made this guild. We've been in it for 4 years now, I think. Somewhere around there. I think it's almost been 4 years. I think 5 months from now it'll be 4 years. I think June of this year is the 4-year mark. Is it the 4-year or 5-year mark? I'm actually not even sure these days. I think it's 4-year mark. Is there a team with Dust Devil that will one-click kill that contains hero? No. It is literally impossible to one-click kill and use hero simultaneously. It's not possible to do both. You have to choose one or the other. You can 2-cast kill with hero, but you can't 1-cast kill. Actually, never mind. You'd have to 3-cast kill with hero, because 2-cast kill wouldn't work either. Oh, no. Yes, it would. No, it wouldn't. Yes, it would. Yeah, duh. Do 2 Dust Devils, hero, and Ironhawk. But yeah, 2-cast is the lowest cast you could get while in containing hero. There's no way to do 1-cast with hero, unfortunately. However, that also means you need 1 whole less Ironhawk. Because that means you only need 2 Iron Hawks if you want to run hero. You wouldn't need a third. Because hero would be your third. Yes, this will 100% do Wild Plains, except for 2 exceptions. What's his name? The Mythic of Ketris the Bull does not get one-shotted. And the second one is, some gnomes. Occasionally when they appear. I forget which. But there's like 1 or 2 gnomes that I don't think get one-shotted by it. I think Mech Gnome might be one, I'm not sure. I thought it was Stone Gnome earlier, but it actually died when we did the video. So I think it might have been because of the one explosion off of Greed when we were doing that battle. I'm not sure. But yeah, Catches the Bull, as far as his kingdom in Wild Plains, Catches the Bull is literally the only thing it doesn't one-shot. And you only get that like once every like 50, 60, 70 battles. And even then you might not get it. Because there's 2 different mythics for this kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. And one of them, I believe, gets one-shotted, but Ketris doesn't. Also, why'd I do that? Why am I taking any extra turns from the board? I guess it's some free gold, but it is very pointless. So, did we just get a gold key from that? That's pretty funny. We take 1 single move and it's like, oh, here, have a gold key. But yeah, you can use this team in other locations other than Wild Plains if you use the high damage method. If you use the high damage method that does 30 damage, the range of kingdoms that you can use this on is really high. Exactly which, I'm not sure what the full list is, but the range is really, really high if you're using the 30 damage method. With double Dust Devil with doubled Iron Hawk. Also, you could do a hero here and, oh, never mind, that would be 20 damage then. But yeah, you'd have to keep it as double Dust Devil. But yeah, this version does, well, you could do 1 Greed and does 25 damage. You could do that instead, if a kingdom can die in 25 damage. But this is the highest damage you could do out of any combination. Double Dust Devil, double Iron Hawk. This would allow you to do a much wider range of kingdoms if you were looking for, specific trait stones. And it also doesn't require a third, which is nice. It only needs 2 of them. But that's what you would do if you wanted to try other kingdoms. Because I don't think any other kingdom has all 20 or below durability like this place has. But there's quite a few that have below 30. Actually, almost all of them would probably have below 30, except for ones that have Revive or Spell Reduction. Or Empowers. Or then again, actually Empower would matter. Because if you're doing 2 casts, the Empower would matter. But as long as you're doing a kingdom that has no Spell Reduction, no Empower, no 0 attack troop, and no, I think that's it. Oh, and no Revive. As long as the kingdom has none of those conditions, you can run the 30 damage, I'm pretty sure, literally everywhere that has none of those conditions. So if you wanted to go somewhere other than Wild Plain, you could. But as far as the 20 damage method, I'm pretty sure Wild Plains is the only one. Just because of the low durability here. Wait, does Explore 1 not have traits? Oh, wait. You're right. Oh. Never mind. So traits don't matter. So none of that actually matters then. I forgot. How long has that been a thing? It's probably always been a thing. I forgot. Explore 1 doesn't actually have traits, does it? So yeah, you could do pretty much everywhere 30 damage then. As long as you don't do it in one of the few 0 attack kingdoms. Those include Karkaroth because of the Thorn one. Kazael because of the Dwarven Gate. Broken Spire because of the other gates, Fortress Gate. And Dragon's Claw because of the Egg. As long as you avoid those 0 attack kingdoms, I think you could do 30 damage literally everywhere. As long as you don't have like a 10-20% bonus on a given week. Also, do keep in mind, if anything here had a 10% bonus, this would not work. So do be mindful of that. The double cast one would, but the single cast one would not work if anything had 10% here. Particularly that one that has 20 HP, 20 durability. There's just like 1 or 2 of them, like Wild Fang, that has literally exactly 20. Luckily, he only has 1 typing. War Gear as Wild Plains. But if either of those two were to have a 10% bonus on a given week, this would not one-shot anymore. Luckily this week that is not the case. But of course that could happen on occasion. Very rarely, but it will be a thing occasionally. Yesterday, within the first few 3 iron fights, you got an epic Vault Key. Nice, that's super lucky. But yeah, this is like Vault Event when it's not even Vault Event. Sure feels like it. Not as good as it, obviously, but hey, we'll get to see what kind of rates it can do during an actual Vault Event. Not this weekend, but next weekend. 2 weekends from now. Next weekend is Bounty Hunter, following weekend is Vault. So that'll be the first Vault weekend ever that we get to test how good this thing can really farm. Because Dust Devil meta has never existed during a Vault event. Vault events were nowhere near created when Dust Devil was meta. That didn't happen until years upon years after. Like 3 years after. So we've never gotten to see what this thing can do with that kind of speed during a Vault event. But we'll find out in 2 weeks. Obviously it'll be very quick. But how exactly quick? We'll find out. Yeah, there's going to be so many gnomes. I'm really looking forward to this upcoming Vault event. We're going to be grinding it a lot compared to normal. If anyone has any other questions, do let me know. Otherwise, we might wrap up in a little bit. Because otherwise, all we're really going to be doing is just grinding this. I still wanted to stream today. Just to go over the preview like we did earlier. In case anyone wanted to ask anything. Because I'm gone for the rest of this day. I'm going to be in food coma plus watching Super Bowl stuff. Okay, we'll throw that down. I'm definitely going to be overeating today. If there's any day to do it, today's one of those days. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Hello, Cherry Top. I do remember you. You've been here, gosh, ages ago. Like years upon years ago. Actually, so long ago, Dust Devil might have actually been meta. But, yeah, I remember you. You were using a different icon, though, for your profile image. I know for sure you weren't using that profile image then. Let's see what's right at that. Are you going to change the order in the Vault events? Because the gnomes survive? I might. Though it depends how often the gnomes that survive appear. But yes, the most efficient way to use this is Dust Devil in first slot. However, I prefer in third because it's easier to click. But yes, technically you should have Dust Devil in first slot. I just like it in third, personally. I'm not sure why. I almost always use my empowers in third. This is a really big habit to click there for it. I think mostly because Leprechaun teams. A good majority of Leprechaun teams I run it in third. So it's just a habit to click on third. So it's just easier for me to do it that way. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I haven't handed out a code. I should probably go do that. Let's go do it right after this battle. King Minos is dead. Oh yeah, let me go get you guys a code. Where on earth is my code section? One moment. Gotta go dig it up. Go grab this. Go click save. Go X out of that. Go open this up. Go over here. Where is... there it is. Put that right there, put that right there, put that other thing in, click refresh, put the thing all the way over to the side, click copy. And here it goes. Here's the redeem code. Use on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here in the bottom left corner is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code can be found right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with EJ, H, and it gives the same word as always. If I can click correctly. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Only works on PC mobile version of the game. But there you go. And that gem key can give you the mythic. 0.1% chance, but it's a chance. Very unlikely, but technically possible. And you definitely want to be getting that mythic if you don't already have a copy. That's like a must-have mythic now. It went from being like, it's decent to craft, to you have to go craft it now. Or go get it. I mean, not craft it, but you know, get at least 1 copy of it. And even more than 1's useful. It's actually basically the second mythic in the game where I can definitively say it's actually worth going out of your way for a second one. The other one is Ferris Raw. Theoretically, double Ketris too, but double Ketris, I don't know. Double Ketris is kind of weird. Like, you really don't need to get a second Ketris. There's so many things at higher priority than a second Ketris. 1 Ketris is nice. The second one, I wouldn't really go out of your way for. So I'd still say those are basically the only 2 that are definitively 100% of the time worth getting a second copy of. Ferris Raw and Ironhawk. Making it the second mythic ever where it's actually good to get more than 1 copy. To physically go out of your way to get more than 1 copy. Rather than letting it naturally happen. Because there's several mythics where having 2 of them isn't horrible. Like Tina 9000, Ketris, stuff like that. But it's better to naturally let it happen than go out of your way to get it to happen. 1,000 glory, nice. Gosh, this feels like a vault event. It's not even a vault event. For sure getting loot like it is. Because how quickly we win. Because gnomes basically spawn based on how many battles you do. So if you can cycle through more battles quicker, you get more gnomes. And since this wins at a blazingly quick speed, it gives us a lot more gnomes. So even though it's not a vault event, it sure feels like it. You picked up 3 too? Nice. Yeah, if you can afford it, if you're sitting on like more resources than you know what to do with, I highly advise getting 3. Though do be wary, there's an exceedingly small chance they will nerf it. I sure hope they don't, but do be wary of that. There'll be so much backlash if they do, though. To such a degree, I feel like they won't nerf it. There will be an exceedingly high amount of backlash if they nerf this at any point. You got your second Ironhawk from the VIP keys. Nice. Oh, from those 2 VIP keys the other week? Nice. Yeah, those have a 1.65% chance for a mythic now. It used to be 1%, but they buffed it like 2 or 3 patches ago. Gosh, time flies by so quickly when you're doing this team. It's a really fun team to use. It's fun to see the entire team just die instantly. I miss seeing this off of Dust Devil. It's great that he's finally back. Took them 5 years, but better late than never. He was so much fun to use back in the day, too. And now he's pretty much back. Though you have to use a really specific team for it, whereas before you could do it just with anything. Which is one of the main reasons why I feel like they nerfed it too. Like, it was literally a rare that was like the most powerful thing in the entire game. But now that it requires multiple mythics, it's not as bad. Because even though it's possible again, it's not as bad because it requires a lot of resources to get it. Though it's kind of interesting that they're bringing back old meta stuff. Like, they brought back infinite loops into the game. They brought back 100% true damage when they added Lord of Slaughter last year. And they brought back Dust Devil. indirectly, but they still brought him back. If the redeem code doesn't exist, click backspace once. Sometimes when you copy from YouTube or just anywheres, it'll add an extra space. So make sure there's not an extra space at the end or the beginning, though normally it's at the end. We've got so many gnomes. It's not even Vault Weekend. It sure feels like one. Look at that, 5 diamonds. It is Diamond Day after all. Even more diamonds. I really do not need more diamonds. There's nothing in endgame to use them for. Because if you own every mythic in the game, and you own every weapon in the game, there's not a single thing you can use diamonds on at that point. Obviously, it takes a very long time before you reach that point. But once you do, the diamonds are kind of pointless. I think I have enough to craft like 15 mythics, maybe even more. I'm not even sure what the number is these days. It's some kind of absurdly high number. Whatever the number says in Soulforge, it's like too higher because I haven't bothered converting my shards. So we already have you maxed, right? I'll double check just in case. Whenever I don't check, I'll think it's maxed forever. And then I'll realize at some point it's like, oh, I still need 5 more copies. But we have enough to make 22 mythics. We can almost make 2 years worth of mythics in just diamonds alone. Because I also have 9,680 more diamonds, which is like 2.5 mythics right there. On top of the fact we have 22 already. Or 20 right here. So that means we have 22.5 or 23 mythics we can craft currently. That's how many diamonds we have. Because there's no diamond sync in Ultra Endgame. There's plenty of diamond sync prior, but once you like got to like full-blown completionist, there's actually nothing to use diamonds on anymore. Unless you want to convert them into souls, which is horrifically bad value. Maybe if they gave 10,000 souls per like 100 diamonds, it'd be worth it. But the current exchange rate is really, really bad. I think it's like 100 souls for, what is the rate? I think it's like 100 souls for like 10 or something. You should never do this. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If it was 1,000 for 10, it would actually be okay. Because then that would be 8 million souls right there. But even then, it might not even be worth it. But at minimum, this needs to have an extra 0 at the end for that to be worth it. Every 10 diamond to 1,000 souls instead of 100. If it was that, it could actually be... You could actually make the argument to use it occasionally. But at only 100, it is super ultra bad value. Give me your diamond. I wish I could give people diamonds. We have way more than we could ever use. Unless they add something to sink diamonds into. That isn't troops or weapons. There's no more new epic weekly weapons in Soulforge. No, there is. They just haven't rotated yet. The kingdoms need to come around. So, for example, next week we won't have it because Broken Spire, and we already have that weapon. But we just need the kingdoms that haven't happened yet to roll around. I believe there's 6 of them or so. But they'll come back eventually. It's just a matter of them rotating back around to a kingdom that we haven't gotten yet. But once those events happen, we'll get the weapons. But it's not going to happen until the event week occurs. And those event weeks fall on Blackhawk, Kazale, Suncrest, Leonis Empire, Pridelands, which is also when... Gosh, Pridelands has to happen for like a year. That's when Rope Dart's going to come back too. And Wild Plains, which is going to be an annoying week because you can't run that team that week because it will have 10 or 20% bonus. But once these 6 kingdoms have their event again, you'll be able to get those weapons. But until then, they won't be available. But once those 6 event weeks happen, you'll be able to get the weapon. But they'll come eventually. It's a matter of time before they rotate back. But yeah, Pridelands has been a really long time. I believe it's been 14 months since the last Prideland event. I know because someone said it's been like a year since Rope Dart. It's been slightly some amount of time since then. But yeah, Pridelands has gone an absurdly high amount of time without one. Which is kind of bad because arguably the best weapon in the entire game, Rope Dart, exists only during a Pridelands event week. Unless you get lucky and see it on a $5 offer. And even then, you'd have to use $5 and not in-game currency. But when the Pridelands event, you'll be able to get it with in-game currency. But anyways, does anyone else have any other questions you want to mention? Otherwise, I'm probably going to be ordering that pizza and heading off. And getting ready to relax the rest of the day. Any other questions, let me know. And maybe playing some Fall Guys. We got the next crown rank. We almost got our golden chicken. I think we're like 80 crowns short. I'm not going to farm them all this weekend, though. Might play a few more rounds, though. Since they're doing basically the equivalent of a Gems of War Vault event. A double crown event. Where are we ordering from? Domino's. Mostly because it's so close. It's literally walking distance. It's like less than a mile. Actually, it might be a little over a mile. A mile's not that bad. I believe it's like a mile, but it's like a straight mile, so it's not that hard. It's not like you're curving a bunch of streets. You kind of are, but it's like back streets, so you don't need to like keep crossing busy roads. Yeah, both the mythics here, you can't one-shot, unfortunately. That doesn't really matter much. They so very rarely occur. And luckily, we had a skull there. Oh, and we got tribute ready. 15 gems. What are you using for the Delve event? Delve event? Delve event. Oh, I don't have the team set up anymore. We covered a video on it yesterday. But, you mean for Pure Faction? For Pure Faction, we ran one of the tank that does barrier, followed by the mana generator that converts green to whatever you want, followed by double the mythic that does true damage. What on earth any of their names are, I have not the slightest clue. But it's the tank with barrier, followed by mana generator, followed by double true damage, is what we ran for Pure Faction, if that's what you're referring to. And for the higher level range, we basically just ran an Iron Gut Zoogoth team. If you don't have Zoogoth, you just run a standard Iron Gut team with Curse. Though there's a lot of immune to Curse on, immune to Devour on the first and final battle, but as long as you curse them, it's like they don't even have immunity. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I know it's a bit of a weird time, but greatly appreciated that you guys could stop by. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Best of luck for the, if you're trying to be getting the Mythic, you still have 6 more days, or 5 more days, rest of today. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So still plenty of time to go get it. So any keys that you get next week, you could throw all of them at the Glory Gem Guild VIP keys and try getting it. If you still want to get more copies or if you still haven't gotten your first, still time. But anyways, guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a good Super Bowl if you watch it. And I'll catch you guys later. And of course, next video we'll be having, or next stream, our next stream will be tomorrow night, not tonight, but tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be doing Chapter 8 tasks as well as going over the Sun, assuming we can get it immediately. And other than that, we'll have the Monday event video going over all the weekly stuff we always go over on Monday. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, best of luck with everything. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by.